Angie with Young Adult Hollywood.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much for this show.
Thank you.
I'm sure you hear that a lot, but this show is just so fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for it myself. I mean, I was just saying that I get to write about my life. I'm married to a woman, and we have two adopted children. We're a multiracial family. So it's really a pleasure and an honor to be able to show people that we're just like everyone else, and that parenting is a really, really universal thing, the great equalizer, as I call it. No matter whether you're a single parent or you're a heterosexual couple or a gay couple, when you have kids, your concerns are all the same. It's about keeping your kids safe, keeping them happy, giving them everything that you never had.
I would think that would be very scary to have it be your life, essentially, and putting it out there. Just putting it out there in general, and then putting it out there and kind of waiting to see how people are going to react to it on screen. I mean, was that even something that entered your mind, or you're just like, no, this is just the way it is, and we're going to do this?
You know, I tend to just focus on the work. I don't really read too much of what people think about the show, because I never want to get self-conscious. I never want to feel like I'm afraid to do something because they might be mad at me, or I don't ever want to get too complacent or get a big head about people that do love the show, or get really depressed when someone doesn't like the show. So I sort of kind of live in a vacuum. But I like telling stories that are real and relatable. And so if I can draw from my own life to do that, it makes my job so much easier. It's really hard to write about things you don't know unless you immerse yourself into it. So for me, it's the easiest job I've ever had, writing-wise, because my wife maybe not appreciate that our relationship is on screen every week, but it makes it really easy because that's just where I draw from.
You know, the funny thing is, we have a lot of people on our Twitter feed that are big fans and passionate fans. And the thing that they're the most passionate about is the same thing that they're passionate about for shows like Pretty Little Liars. It's like, who's dating who, and who's, they don't like, Jesus' girlfriend, and, all this stuff. So it's really interesting. But I have another question. I'm so sorry. I just blanked on it. Did you expect, again, I know you just focused on the work, but, it kind of was a little bit of a risky topic because it just hadn't been on TV before, in the way that you guys do it, which is so phenomenal. Did you think that, we're going to do this as long as they'll let us do it?
I wasn't really worried about it. I thought, well, they'll either like it or they won't. What I focus on is the storytelling. If it's good storytelling, people will be drawn in.
Absolutely.
I try not to think about what will people want to see, what will be, what will get noise out there, what will get ratings. I really just try to stay into the story and think about, like, whenever we see people going through something that feels real on television, that's when I lean in and I think, oh, that's a real moment. I can relate to that moment, and that's what excites me about being a writer.
Now I remember what I was going to say. You guys really haven't been on the air all that long. When you take a look at all of the issues that you guys have written about and you've addressed on the show, it kind of boggles my mind, but it doesn't hit you over the head as you're doing it. I mean, how do you go about writing about the drug abuse and every single thing that you guys have, people being shot and running away, and everything. You guys have done everything.
Well, I hope we haven't done everything, because we hopefully have another season or two. But we really just try to focus on where the characters lead us and what stories are. We never think, like, let's do a story about immigration.
Right.
It just sort of evolved that we had this character, and we thought, what if she found out that her parents weren't legal, and she never knew that, and she was born in this country, which is something that so many people are dealing with, so many kids are dealing with. And so, and it was good storytelling too. It wasn't just issue telling. It was good for our story, because it was a real secret to keep from your kid.
Right.
And put her in a position where she was afraid suddenly. And also she wasn't legal either. She was brought here as a baby. She had no idea.
That's a huge
so
thing
suddenly
to
you're in high school and you're like, oh my God, I just found out I'm not a legal citizen of the United States. What am I going to do? So we just love that story.
Yeah.
So we really don't set out to tell, like, issue stories. It just sort of comes about organically, and I don't think we ever intended to do so many. It just kept coming, and obviously one thing we wanted to do is have them get married, the moms get married. And our timing was perfect because we were shooting the episode when the Supreme Court knocked down DOMA, and so we had 2 versions we were going to do, and we were able to shoot the version that said you are legally recognized. Yeah,
it was a
and
beautiful
it was really,
episode.
I was so proud of it, and we've tackled religion, but we try to show all sides too, and we try not to just show one point of view.
Right.
The liberal point of view that we may have ourselves. We try to show the other point of view, like Steph's father,
right.
and his point of view about his daughter and his religion, and not demonize that, because I think that everybody's point of view is valuable. Jesus, what's going on?
Hi.
Hello.
Just call me Terry. You don't have to call me Jesus. It embarrasses me when you say that in front of other people.
I was like, who is doing that?
I just have to ask you one more question because I know you need to go. The Brandon Callie thing is just so. I was telling him when I was talking to him that it's, when you're watching it, you can see how that could happen so easily.
Yeah.
There are these people that are really not biologically, they didn't grow up together, they're not, related, and you can see how that could happen. But you could also see why it shouldn't happen, given certain circumstances. But then you can also see there was a point. I don't know if it was the last episode, or the episode before that, where Callie just said, "I gave up so much, and maybe I'm not willing to give this up anymore." And I was just thinking that wasn't verbatim.
Yeah, no,
but
it's right. In the finale, she said, I gave up so much, and maybe it's just not meant to be.
And it just broke my heart because it's like she's given up so much for this thing that she wants to be part of this family, but legally, which may never happen.
Yeah.
She may age out at this point.
Yeah.
Poor girl, before it happens.
Exactly.
So it doesn't mean they're not going to be a family, but then it's like all tricky when she's.
It's a wonderful obstacle to keep 2 lovers apart, and you always want star-crossed lovers. That's the bread and butter of any soap, And so you think, well, what can keep them apart? Well, what's better than the fact that they're living in the same house and they're supposed to be brother and sister, but they're really not? I mean, it's just such a great.
It's crazy. It's such a great
it really
story.
is. It really works great.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Thank
you so much. My pleasure. Thank
Have
you.
fun.